Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Will Leggetter.
And I'm fat! I should have got a puppet. I don't have one. Unfortunately
You should have made one. Be even creepier. Just like a really makeshift.
Just this show.
Yeah.
And make it look like me, like they did with the puppet in this, to make it look like Anthony Hopkins. I would make a little Thomas Carruthers puppet. Yeah.
Coming soon, merch.
Coming soon. You can buy your own Thomas Carruthers puppet. Well, I wonder if that would sell. Probably not. Nobody wants the real one. Opening line hall of William Goldman. Today, I've done them in an odd way. Really, I haven't really oddly spaced them out. We did the first two are the two Oscar winners that he won his best screenplays for. Then we did last episode we did Misery is an adaptation of somebody else's work, and now we're into the three films that you haven't seen and the three adaptations of his own work. So these next three films are all from his own novels.
If you want to really stretch sort of the order we've arranged them in, the first two are the Oscar winners. The second two are both one word and begin with M. And the last two are both about, you've got one about a man, one about a woman. The last one stretches because you've got bride and man.
Princess and marathon. I don't know. Yeah, one is about a neo-Nazi hiding in Argentina, and the other one is a whimsical fairy tale. Very similar.
Yeah.
Did you knock him dead, Corky? This is magic. That was opening line Hall of Fame.
Abracadabra, I sit on his knee. Presto, changeo, and now he is me. Hocus pocus, we take her to bed. Magic is free. We're dead.
Josephine Levine presents Magic, a terrifying love story, starring Anthony Hopkins, Ann-Margaret and Burgess Meredith, rated R.
Well, this magic has been alluded to in other episodes.
It has.
In the Silence of the Lambs episode, I alluded that this was probably, even though I declared, and I think I still stand by, that Hannibal Lecter is my favourite character, and I adore his performance as Lecter, and it probably is better, and it probably is more so my favourite. I did declare that this was probably my favourite Anthony Hopkins performance, and I think it's definitely very, 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 very close.
I'll go straight and say this is my favourite Anthony Hopkins. Yeah,
good.
It was also you tempted me with a glimpse of magic in
Inside Number 9 Season 3.
Yes,
because we have in the Diddle Diddle Dumpling, there is the wonderful Don't Talk About the Shoes scene for 5 minutes or whatever it is, and just a full-blown, you can call it a rip-off, homage, whatever you want to call it. The boys, I call them the boys now, Stephen Rees, are fully aware of it. I listened to the audio commentary and they said it was just an excuse for us to do magic. We've always wanted to do the magic scene, and what a way for them to adapt it.
I say it was probably, I was definitely going to enjoy it because we've realised anything that Stephen Rees enjoy, we do too. We have the same taste.
Yes. Yes, it's wonderful. I very much enjoy this film. It's a psychological thriller. Many of the let's just read these taglines first off. One of the first taglines is a terrifying love story, and I think that that's really true. I don't think the movie skimps on its love story at all.
Who's the love between? There's your catch.
Well,
you wanna look deep.
Abracadabra, I sit on his knee. Presto changeo, now he is me. Hocus pocus, we take her to bed. Magic is fun, we're dead. Ooh, very spooky. yes, I think it's a beautiful love story between wonderful Ann-Margaret, the wonderful, beautiful, talented, just one of the most talented performers ever. Beautiful singing voice, incredible dancer, great actress in this. You know, a really underrated actress. I think she sort of got pigeonholed as, you know, pin-up girl, and she is an immensely attractive woman. You can't take that away from her. But also, she's great. She's a really good actress, as you can also see in the wonderful film Carnal Knowledge, the Art Garfunkel starring Jack Nicholson, Mike Nichols movie, which famous for the first C word ever on a major film.
I'd like to say that we were famous for the first C word at New College Pontypridd. I don't think anyone had written that word. I think that by the reaction of Richard, the principal at the time.
The principal at the time. I can't remember last time I heard it.
And it were me. I'm proud to say it was me.
I'm currently writing another play, and I've just used it. And I'm very sparing. I don't use it often.
Oh no, it's got to be used very, very well. Yeah.
Depending on the script, I'm more flippant with my folks. But the C word has to be chosen at all times. YouTube comments. This sort of leads into the underappreciation part of the podcast. Not many YouTube comments, because this film, I think, is severely underrated. I don't hear many people talking about it. Unless
it's so underrated that the whole movie is on YouTube. It's one of those.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and nobody cares. I mean, don't watch it on YouTube. Watch the beautiful Blu-ray, and you can listen to William Goldman.
Yeah.
And it's and it looks great on Blu-ray.
I wonder if the movie will be in the recommended after watching this video. We might finally be connected to it. That might be fun. And then Anthony will be on the phone.
I want to make magic too. I want you boys in it. I want you. Anthony Hopkins has a terrible American accent in this. I don't think he does.
This is what I was saying. It's just Anthony. He always does Welsh. He always slips back into Welsh.
But I don't think that's true.
It's most apparent in this. Most apparent in this.
I don't think it is. It's apparent when he goes, "The three of clubs."
The three of clubs.
But I think I've never agreed with you on the American accent point. But anyway, how terrifying would a Hannibal Lecter dummy be? It's probably one out there.
Yeah.
Lance Lambs is pretty popular. That's actually Anthony Hopkins' voice. He learned ventriloquism for the role. A dedicated pro, indeed.
Did he learn ventriloquism? Because he's not ventriloquizing, is he?
Yeah. What do you mean he's not ventriloquizing?
Is it not dubbed over? Or is he actually...
Some scenes it's dubbed over, because obviously you have to project and all that. But most of the time he's doing it live. He had to do it live in the scene anyway.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well done, Tony.
To this day, I can walk up to my 55-year-old sister and start off, abracadabra, I sit on his knee, and she'll start yelling, "Stop it! Run away!" and actually get angry. And really, I don't get much past abracadabra and imitating Fats's face.
I'd imagine if you walked up to anyone and said, "Abracadabra, I sit on his knee," they would be quite alarmed.
It's true. We all need to start a support group. And then somebody's put, "Very funny comment, thanks. There are replica Fats dolls that you can buy."
Oh, are there? Now then.
Hopkins was given the doll after, but a few days later he phoned the property master and told him to take the doll back because it was scaring him. And we come full circle. R.I.P. William Goldman, one of the best damn screenwriters in the business. He certainly knew how to craft a psychological thriller, as evidenced by this film.
He was a bit good at writing, wasn't he?
He was. He's a legend and always will be. Pardon me. Best 10-minute stretch. Will, why don't you kick us off?
Hey, I've got lots. I've got that initial sort of amateur gig. His first when he's explaining. It's his dad, isn't it?
Yes, it's his dad. Yes. Yeah.
He's explaining to his dad how Obviously he's explaining it went really well, and then at the same time you've got sort of the flashback to him just
throws you off
bombing.
straight away. Immediately you're in a position of what's happening, who can we trust, what's true, what's false. Excellent storytelling. And then I completely agree. The opening into the first successful gig, and we meet Fats, and we meet the postman, played wonderfully by Burgess Meredith. The postman song. Play the postman song. Watch Baby Bonnie's in Bed, everybody. Thomas Carruthers on YouTube. See for Will's marvellous performance. Postman song. But yeah, we meet Burgess Meredith as the postman. Why is he called postman? Because I always deliver. With his cigars. And
you do deliver.
Do you do chicken and beef? It's a real joke. Now we can start. And we realise that we've got a whole different gig. You know David Ogden Stiers, who plays the guy who comes to see the gig? That's the voice of Cogsworth.
Oh, very good. Very good. And so is Syrian. Yeah,
but David Ogden Stiers is better.
Okay.
Everybody's better. That movie is bad.
Yeah.
The live action Beauty and the Beast is bad.
I think
Evermore.
Luke Evans is exceptional.
He's good, but it's still. I'm googling Beauty and the Beast. I'm not going to watch his Gaston with bloody Josh Gad. I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch the original. Yeah.
You quite like the original.
I adore the original. I think it's a perfect film. I think it's one of the most perfect films ever made. I think the score is flawless. I think there's not a bad song in it. I always watch the extended version because I think that Human Again is a wonderful song, and I don't know why they cut it. Everybody watch Beauty and the Beast. If you haven't, I don't know how you haven't, but anyway. We'll continue with 10 minutes.
Hello. I like when he's with Peggy, and they're sat at the table and he's showing her the card trick, and it goes wrong, and then he has to do it again. That very nice.
The mind reading into making love. Yeah.
Yes, that's quite a scene.
It is. Yes, and those incredible cuts to Fats. We can just see the legs. We can just see the legs moving about. They're definitely having a good time. And then we just cut to, and that. That's another one of my ringtones I want. We need to make a list of these. Just incredible. They're, and it's clearly, as she says, I'm used to thinking of grocery lists, They're clearly both enjoying themselves. It's clearly passionate. It's clearly romantic. It's obviously sexual. And it's clearly good sex. And it's something new for the both of them. Here's a question. I don't think he's a virgin. When do you think the last time Corky had sex was? Oh, wait, no. Has he been... Because he's been quite popular for about 6 months or so, hasn't he? In between...
I think, yeah. He might have had a few backstage romances.
So Fats is watching.
That's in the contract. Fats has to be there.
Yeah. Don't mind the doll. Oh, ha, 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 ha. And then he starts shouting out, I'm going to come. Oh, filthy. Filthy. Pure filth.
I've got the postman turning up to his holiday log into that 5 minutes. Yes.
William Goldman on the wonderful special features on the Blu-ray said it's my favourite scene in the book, it's my favourite scene in the film, it's just a wonderful, horrible scene. Because what an ingenious idea. He walks in on him having an argument with the doll, and just straight away his face, well, no, we don't see his face drop, it's already dropped.
Yeah.
And how long has this been going on, kid? You need help. And we know, this is dangerous territory that we're dealing with here. Into that, as we've talked about, the incredible 5-minute scene. The best acting Hopkins ever done. Burgess Meredith, I think, I was going to say he doesn't get enough credit, but this film doesn't get enough credit. Nobody's talking about this scene anyway. Never mind saying that Hopkins steals it or whatever. But Burgess, the smoking his cigar. 2 minutes. My favourite part is, I've got 2 favourite parts, but I very much like. Well, no, actually 3. I like the scene's incredible. I like, to think one day we're going to laugh about all this, and then the decline. This is really cruel what you're doing. Actually, this is cruel, and he knows that he's going to snap, and then that incredible. I can't make it. He closes his eyes, and he's trying so hard, and then I didn't think you could. And then here's facts. Yeah. Astounding.
It's heartbreaking.
It is. It is heartbreaking. Yeah. I really do. This is one of we were just talking about Misery, and luckily for us, he didn't. Corky didn't kill any children.
Yeah.
So you do feel immense empathy for him. He's clearly a very troubled person, and he just wants Peggy and. Oh, poor guy, poor Corky.
And then what have I got? I've got 2 more 10 minutes. I've got killing the postman into drowning him.
Mm-hmm. Taking him out.
Yeah, and then that final 10 minutes. He does some very good acting.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
and he's giving Peggy the wooden heart that he always was going to give her, and then. He has to kill himself.
I know it sounds funny because I haven't got a stomach, but my stomach's hurting.
Yes, I think we're going to die. Oh, again, it's quite upsetting. And he tries to come to the puppet. It's really, really, really tough, rough watch.
Yeah.
I love the matching costumes. What's your favourite matching costume that Corky and Fats wear?
I like that ending one, the sweater and the shirt
combination.
Because that's the sort of stuff I wear.
I love a good sweater. My mother bought me this lovely green, heavy jacket. It's great, yeah. No. Welcome to Fashion Corner, everybody. What's your favorite? Any other nominations for 10 minute stretch?
That's me.
Yeah, I'd probably throw in killing Duke as well, killing the husband. So another, because that's also a part where you don't know whether or not we're going to turn into a whole different movie, because Corky is only revealed at the very end. So for a while we're thinking, wait, the doll's moving on its own.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is this where the twist is going to come? Is this a twist? And then Corky is revealed. Pardon me. Tom's weirdly specific favourite parts of the film. I love in the opening failing speech where that lovely woman who's rather large smiles at him, and he goes, "Yes, no, this punchy lady on the front row," and she's just wanting him to do well, and she's really good. I love at the Four Seasons dinner where the postman goes, "Just don't turn shitty. I want you to be the one guy that proves me wrong." And in a way he doesn't, but in a way he might be the worst client that he's ever had.
Because he kills him.
Because he kills him, yes. Fats in a box when he first arrives at the lodge and he's going, "Let me out! Let me out!" And at that point, you still think, oh, it's a bit funny. It's just he's rehearsing and whatever, and he's a lonely guy. Where did you twig? I've sort of forgotten over the years what I felt watching it for the first time. I mean, you're obviously set up in your head that this is a thriller, this is a horror, so we know that something's arrived from the start. But what was the point where you thought, yeah, no, this is more than fun and games. This is more than rehearsing. This is genuinely an unhinged individual.
To be honest, it's when he starts getting all shifty about the medical stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's when it starts playing on your mind, and you start thinking, oh, okay, what's he got to hide? And then that thought just grows and grows, and it sort of reinforces everything you see then. Seeing that, knowing that he's refused a medical, it just makes it even better.
Yeah, spoilers from my single minutes, that whole 4 seasons. But also, he does a pretty good job, I think, at the start of covering it up. Of like, you know, it's principle. But they're saying that there's something wrong with me, and I don't like that assumption. Yeah. It's then when he starts shouting down the line and going, I'm not taking the exam, I'm not taking the exam, that we sort of realise that something is slightly awry.
Hello, everybody. This is Mrs. Norman Maine. My mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you. You have nothing to fear but fear itself, nothing to give but blood, sweat, and tears, nothing to lose but your chains. Here he is, boys. Here he is, world. Here is fat!
The Peggy flashback, it's a bit like the flashback in Hairspray, where before Irishman technology, they somehow managed to make Michelle Pfeiffer look like the 80s again, and they somehow, I mean, it's a lot easier because it's shot from far away, but they somehow managed to make Ann-Margaret look like she's back in Bye Bye Birdie. Do you like Bye Bye Birdie, Will? Yeah, obviously.
I do like Bye Bye Birdie.
The film or the show or what?
The film. I've not seen the show.
Neither have I. Fair enough. I meant more so the score, but.
Oh yeah.
I got a lot of living to do. Here's a question. Because I don't know if we do a Bye Bye Birdie episode. Maybe in the future. I mean, you've got to run out someday. But so the plot of Bye Bye Birdie, for those who don't know, is Ann-Margaret is the high school sweetheart, and Conrad Birdie, who is basically Elvis, comes to this small town, and they do a kissing contest. And basically, before Conrad Birdie goes to war, he gets to kiss one local girl, and she wins the contest. And would you let your going steady girl in 1950 whatever, would you be like the guy? Would you be angry? Would you be what?
I'd probably be Dick Van Dyke.
Yes. Yeah, and I'd be Paul Lind. I spend lots of time on Paul Lind montages of just watching his best answers. It's great stuff. When a man falls overboard, you yell, "Man overboard." What do you say when a woman falls overboard? Full speed ahead. It's my great Paul Lind impression. What made the gorillas sad in the Tarzan movie? Finding out that Tarzan swings both ways. These are all great Paul Lind jokes. Everybody Google Paul Lind. I wish I had a woodpecker. It's just like that joke. Bullshit, I'll take the exam! When he twists. And now he's really snapping. I mean, it's another one of those great moments in that long argument scene. One of my other favourite moments in the 5-minute scene is, can you do it for 5 minutes? Closing on the eyes of the postman. Closing on the eyes of Corky. Closing on the eyes of Fats. And he moves them. He moves them. I love Fats' scream when he's being used to kill Ben. And then also after that, the whole mending him again. And, my head hurts. Oh, incredible.
When your heart begins to pound, when your mind begins to go, keep telling yourself it's only a movie.
You do magic too?
Corky does magic. I only do tricks.
There's never been a magician like him. How long you been like this, kid?
You never really told why you were here.
Hiding. Wasn't that cheap in New York? You want success, but you're afraid of it.
I figured I'd stop by here and ask you folks about you.
Not afraid.
Where were you living? What city? How many kids?
I'm not afraid.
Never expected to find you. I've loved you all my damn life.
I won't be here!
I was afraid of success, like you said. I needed to get my head on straight.
And now you're fine?
Sure, on account of Ted. I've known her ever since high school. I
and figured I'd have a chance with her. Peggy, no, please, let me follow wherever you go.
The lovely little argument scene between Duke and Peggy, ending in that painful...
In the bedroom, yeah.
Ending in that terrible, I didn't fuck him, but I wanted to. And I don't know, she's not admitting to it because she knows that...
But she did, didn't she?
Yeah, she definitely did.
Yeah, I'm sure I've watched a different movie.
She's just trying to... She doesn't want to admit that she did have sex, but she's, in a way, sort of laying the seeds for, I might leave him, I might leave you. So she's still in the wrong for cheating, but it's clearly a loveless marriage and all that jazz and all the regular things.
He's definitely having it off with many women on his business trips.
I don't think he is.
You know,
I think he loves Peggy. I think he's the sort of guy who still, feels lucky that he ended up with Peggy and Marge.
Like Alan Davis in Angus Thongs and Perfect Stocking.
I haven't seen Angus Thongs. Is that his plot that they ended up with the dream girl?
No, well, that little plot is he just gets a job in New Zealand. He goes over, and then while he's there, the mum's like, finds this new man friend, gets really flirty with him, and they start going out on meals and spending lots of time together.
Did you and me take off? I love Peg. Just the two of us. Now everything's changed. She believes me.
A man appears after 15 years. Says run away with me.
Don't do it. Oh, please, don't kill her.
No, I can't do it! I won't do it! You can't make me!
Magic, a terrifying love story. Joseph E. Levine presents Magic, starring Anthony Hopkins, Ann-Margaret, Burgess Meredith, Ed Lauter, distributed by 20th Century Fox.
And at the end, Alan Davis comes back at their daughter's party, and he's like, and the daughter's like, "What? Are you not going to divorce Dad?" What? And he's like, "Divorce? What's going on?" Like, "No, he's gay."
So it's when did Bridget Jones 2 come out? Because they're just stealing the joke from Bridget Jones 2, where she's a lesbian and she actually fancies Bridget, and she thinks that Mark Darcy is having an affair. Best scene in Bridget Jones 2. It's the Madonna quiz. We're gonna go. Everybody thinks it's Holiday, but it's actually Lucky Star. Lucky Star, and then. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. And then the lesbian goes, "Is it Holiday?" Goes, "Yes, it is." Oh, wonderful. I will never forget that Holiday is the first number. You know what really annoyed me? When they did the first quiz before I took over, the music quizzes, they did a Madonna round. And they played Lucky Star. They played the like the tiny little up and down for 5 seconds. And I knew it straight away. I said, "Lucky Star, Lucky Star." And then they played another... And then they stopped it, and then everyone was like, "Play more." And then they just played, "Can you be my lucky star?" I thought, well, they know it now.
That's something you got really pissed off because you always insisted on playing like really little bits, but they still Shazammed it. They still did it.
I tried to get I can get around Shazam when it's a smaller crowd because what I do is I just play, as you know, I play 10 seconds of 25 songs back to back.
Yeah,
then a 3 minute.
So you haven't got time to.
Yeah. And it's also a game of memory, it's a game of skill, it's a game of pace, it's a wonderful game. But when you're dealing with over 500 people, you just sort of give way. I mean, but also, I marked every one of those quizzes. Nobody got them full marks, so you're shit at cheating anyway. So there you go. The terrible. He's sorted everything out. He's won Peggy. We'll wait until Duke gets back and then I'll tell him. And then, oh no, terrible. And then the painful scream of, "Don't kill her!" Because in his mind, it's him. It's Fats killing him, not himself. Will's more general favourite parts of the film.
I love how sweaty he is in that opening bad gig.
Sweaty is throughout all of the film. He's always really
Yeah.
sweaty. He's a yeah.
Right, I love a bit of sweat. The bit where that first facts introduction where he's like, it's going to do a 5-card lift. Do you know what a 5-card lift is?
I think I know a variation of the floating aces. I just can't remember it at the current.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't
It's
tell
my-
you how to
my-
do it anyway. Well,
Well, I think we're both members of the Magic Set. Well, I was a
Well, we're
very...
not.
No, we're not. I was
That's
a very nerdy
exclusive
child.
group.
I used to have all the Magic kits, and I was very obsessed until I realised that Magic doesn't get you friends.
On the contrary, Will, not to bring her up again, but one of the first things I did was a Magic card trick, and went down quite well, actually. So, yeah, so, I mean, maybe. So, so it did work, but only
Yeah.
for 3 years.
With each, I ran off and, well, I had to sing Suddenly Seymour, and that sealed it for me. That's what did it.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely stuff.
And that's how you met the plant.
It is. Oh, Audrey too. The shot walking from house carrying. Oh yeah, that shot.
Yeah, where he's
where
carrying
he's
the eagle-eye view.
in the towel. I love that. I like it in that 5 minutes. My favourite part of that is that the slow tilt of the camera, and he's getting consumed by the puppet, and then you've got the most beautiful crossfade, like the change of focus. Oh, it's good. It's good. The turtle. I was very surprised to see a turtle. I've not seen a turtle.
He says there's snapping turtles in there. There's snapping turtles, and then there are snapping turtles.
That when they're on the boat, and you think he's got the postman, and he's ready to bash his head in. That
gonna go
scene
full
is
talented
brilliant.
Mr. Ripley.
Yeah.
Oh, painful stuff.
And then I've got no, that's it. That's it.
Fair enough. Well,
Emmy.
let's do Oscar Treviston. I don't know. It's tough because horrors are a whole different game. I don't know if
it's like comedies.
It is. I think the nominations for me really are. I can see fully a nomination for Hopkins, obviously for Best Actor. Olivier, I mean, but those 4 are excellent performances.
Yeah.
But Hopkins needs to be in there, and I think if you're going to get rid of one, you're going to get rid of Olivier for The Boys from Brazil, or maybe Beatty for Heaven Can Wait. It's a bit of a it's Beatty doing what Beatty does best. He's charming and he's handsome, obviously, and all that. But we've seen it before. However, we've never seen Hopkins like this, and for many Americans, they've never seen Hopkins. So that
It's
too.
disappointing. There's no Best Supporting nomination for Fats.
Ah, yes. I thought you were going to say Burgess Meredith. I definitely want one for Burgess Meredith.
And Walken's definitely won that one.
Oh, well, no,
So
there's
correct
absolutely
decision.
no doubt about it.
Yes.
That incredible final moment in Deer Hunter. I mean, wow. Phew. He's an incredible actor, Christopher Walken. What's your favourite Walken performance?
Click.
What's your favourite Walken performance? The video for Weapon of Choice.
Oh, that's a fun story.
Weapon of Choice.
In what it must have been my year 8 panto. We did a panto every year, and it was always a twist on a Shakespeare or a famous story. You'd pantomime it. So we did, like, my first year was The Tempest.
Macbeth. you started. So you used to do pantomimes for famous Shakespeare stories, and the famous Shakespeare story that you were just telling us about was A Christmas Carol.
Yes. I was, of course, Tiny Tim. It's the 3rd time I've played Tiny Tim. I don't know why. I'm typecast as a small gentleman. But this time around, I perfected the crutch, because the first time around I had no idea how to limp. It was very, very bad. But the whole idea was this is during my rise of being a bit more confident with editing lines and taking a bit more creative control over the outcome of the panto. So I just improv a lot of stuff on nights and make many people feel uncomfortable. But one of the gags was, I want to be a dancer like Billy Elliot, even though I've got my crutch. And I don't really have a limp. I just put it on to make people feel sorry for me. And then all
just
of a sudden,
like just like in Scrooged, where they've hired the the bloody gymnast to play Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
And then she does the flip.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
And then I like, do the big monologue. Oh, woe is me. And then and I just break into the whole weapon of choice.
Which you then recreated for us when you did a Brechtian. What were you Brechtian? What were you making?
Christ!
It was the one that you also had One Day More in. But
that really bad one. That very, very bad. Yeah, not my finest hour.
What were you making, Brecht?
I think we were doing Brexit.
Oh yes, you were.
we did Brexit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was very bad.
What did we do?
You did OJ.
Oh, we did OJ. We did OJ and the news media. Yeah, OJ. Oh, well, and then I did my favourite things, but it was serial killers, and it was Shipman and Bundy and Brady and Miller, because I had to make up Miller. So it was Shipman and Bundy and OJ and Miller. Something Shipman and Bundy, the Zodiac Killer. Anyway, it was good. I need to find that again. It was in my peak OJ phase where I was desperately. Yes. I mean, I've never left it really. I forget myself. Will, where are we?
I'd like to say we're talking. Oh, we were just doing Oscar Travesty.
Yes,
I think we just finished.
And it's now time for your favourite building I set.
Thank you. Well, it's a holiday lodge. It's quite nice. I like a holiday lodge. I've never been to Centre Parks myself. I know you do a few Centre Parks.
Centre Parks is great. We have done it many a year. Centre Parks is just wonderful.
We've just never seen the point because we just think it's a bit pricey for what it is.
No, it's definitely pricey.
It's you can go to Spain for the same price. So we usually do that. Get more sun.
I was going to call them Coven, like a Coven of Witches. The Coven of Brothers do study and inspect and cross-reference prices for months and months, and then they usually manage to get some deal or some formation. Yeah. But even that, it is a fairly expensive
ordeal.
Not an ordeal. It's great when you get there.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Best time was when it snowed, and all the outdoor pools are obviously still warm, and it was snowing and it was warm, and it was tremendous. Lovely stuff. Best single minute, I'll kick us off. The Four Seasons lunch, the initial bringing up of the medical exam and just finding out what sort of barrel of snakes that's going to be, and painful. That we start.
That's where sort of that's the point where it turns, because it's looking to be a completely different movie.
Yes. From
there on, you're thinking, well, there's going to be at least a scene where maybe he gets the pilot and he might have a mental breakdown on the pilot, or he'll be in the show. Good. I think that'd be good.
I mean, it can't, because we don't have a film, but
that's that. I mean,
too.
I'll do one of the changes now. I think he runs off too soon. I'd like to see him a bit more in the industry before he eventually snaps and decides to do a runner.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see one of these Carson performances. Maybe have a Johnny Carson cameo like he used to do in the day. I can see that, sort of build into it a bit more. But also, I do like the briskness of it.
The spontaneity.
The three scenes, these big time jumps that we're not made privy to until we're in the scenes, and we're following along, and it doesn't take us for fools. We don't need 6 months later, a year later, which I've talked about before, how I find quite annoying at points, which is, you know, terms of endearment does it perfectly. You know, you can tell that time has passed. You don't need 2 years later, 3 years later, every single scene. Yes, the taxi ride and the going to the old home and then going to the graveyard.
Yes.
I like the taxi guy. I don't like that he sells him out. I've always hated that. Because
gives him
it
200 quid.
He seems quite trustworthy.
He does.
He gives him more than he gives him more than. Oh no, he gives him less. He gives him less
what about
than,
dollar conversion?
Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting topic. It gives him less. I don't know what the conversion rate was in '76, 78 rather. Meeting Peggy again. That great back and forth. Well, it's not a back and forth. It's two separate alone moments of she doesn't remember me. And then her looking through her yearbook, reminiscing, and you can see that, you know, when she does her hair a little, and it's like, am I ugly now? Well, not ugly now, but am I that unrecognizable that I'm not, you know, I'm not the cheerleader anymore? And then she frizzes her hair up a bit when she comes back down, and she has nothing to be worried about. She looks beautiful, and he knows anyway. Oh, you thought Peggy didn't remember. The pretend call, when he pretends to call Gangrene.
Yes, I've got that in my minutes.
One of the best pretend calls. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to have seen that. You know, he's genuinely having the full conversation. I mean, he should be good at it. That's how he makes his career. And then when he starts talking about Peggy, it's like, no, she's going to leave her husband. She's going to leave him for me. I can tell it. She's beautiful. And then, no, nobody touches a Rolls but a Rolls man. Yes. And Peggy's listening in, and he's damn good. Any other nominations, Will, for Single Minute?
I've got the scene when they're having that first sort of date when she invites her around for dinner, and they're at the fireplace and they're just having that chat, and she starts crying. I think that's a beautiful scene. I think that's
beautiful. Yeah, it is a love story. You know, a terrifying love story is a more than apt tagline. You really want, like any good love story, with its, you know, with its ups. As you know, it's a love triangle between. It's a love square. You've got Duke as well, but it's Corky and Fats. You know, they're both Fats and Peggy are both vying for Corky. It's lovely. Anything else? I think we've hit it all, haven't we?
No, that's it for me.
Best line. It was you the whole time. I hope I don't die first is all. We'll go together, chances are. Yeah. Sadie, what's the first rule for being an agent? Never forget an actor killed Lincoln. Head of the class. I always like that one.
I like that one.
Take two, they're big. Do you remember when you said that to me, Ben? A prole never forgets his good lines, kid. I'd like to say that going to bed with you is maybe the best 3 things that ever happened to me. And I'd love some coffee, and I adore you, and I take it with cream and sugar, and your breasts belong in the Louvre, which is a museum in Paris that I plan on visiting with you once you get wise and decide to leave the old ear blower. Just a lovely, lovely little love speech. You know, it's you know, Katrina talked about how our tastes in romance movies are different. You know, she likes the more realistic stuff, and she thinks I like the more romantic stuff, and I do, but also I like the realistic stuff. I think that sort of meets in the middle. I think it is it's not a big speech, but it's a nice little speech, and it's realistic. You know, your tits belong in the Louvre. That's something that, you know, I've never said, but you know, you say the sort of cheeky, corny things when you're in love with somebody.
Hey, what do you say, sports fans?
Yeah.
What's the matter? Is it getting your period?
Feeling kind of blue. I miss the city bad.
Oh, the country grows in you.
So does fungus.
I told you once already we'd leave.
When?
When I want it, now drop it.
What's up right here? Tell me that.
Simmer down, okay?
Okay.
Hey, how's this for a solution? You stay around here and time hayseed, and I'll head back to Manhattan. I take it the silence means no.
Discussion's over, that's all.
I want out of here!
Simmer the hell down!
Just because...
Watch it, mister!
Just because some...
You've been warned!
Just because some sagging bitch of an engineer drops her pants for you.
Shut up!
Corky, you do it so good. You ain't better than the garbage man. Ah!
Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Norman Maine. My mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you. You have nothing to fear but fear itself, nothing to give but blood, sweat, and tears, nothing to lose but your change. Here he is, boys. Here he is, world. He's facts.
That's a great. That's it. That's sort of. He's speaking out of. It's just getting everything out. It's expelling everything, and you can
Like
see
he's speaking in tongues. So, yeah. Another one of my favourite moments. Stop the postman. How, with what? Me. Ooh, very unsettling. Any other favourite lines, Will?
I like it whenever Fats elongates his vowels slightly. It's going to be a star or moody. I like any of that.
It's a star. What's the change?
Right. So we've gone for that one. I've got that bit, that opening shot, well, not opening, near the beginning, where he's in his dressing room and he looks in the mirror, and you've got that picture of Merlin. Does he need to pick it up and then hold it? I think seeing that reflection in the mirror, him looking at himself, I think that's enough. It's not
because he doesn't go home to it. He can't go home to his dad anymore and tell him how good he's doing. He's sort of saying, you know, maybe a slight touch would be more effective instead of a whole pickup. And then maybe just a. That'd be nice.
Does the postman ever pick up the mess?
Oh, mine too.
He's such a arrogant.
Throwing glass, you can hear it shattering. It's almost like a Naked Gun gag. It's like every time it's in Wet Hot American Summer. This is a gag in a spoof movie. No matter what gets thrown or whatever, there's always the sound of a vase smashing. And this is exactly what happens in this movie. He's just throwing them away in his office. He's throwing them in. Like, who collects these shards of glass? I want a scene where he steps in them. Or his lawyers.
Okay.
I got the 3 best lawyers here. 2 of them have cut feet because of all the glass on the floor. It turns into Die Hard. You know,
that's my biggest change.
I completely agree. We were talking about it in 10-minute stretch, and I do think it works. But does she not to? I don't want to. No, it's not slut shaming. Whichever way you put it. Does she go to bed with him a bit quickly to say he's just had a full-blown mental breakdown in front of her and he's clearly unhinged? And then she kisses. Never mind going to bed. She kisses him very quickly. He snaps at her and then. Mwah.
This is very cruel of you know that?
I don't mean it to be.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive you.
Well, that would be sad.
Time?
2.5 minutes to go.
I can't make it.
I didn't think you could.
It's. I think it's just one of those heat of the moment things.
Yeah. No, I think it works. I wouldn't remove it. I'd maybe add a scene. So that she doesn't kiss him as soon as he's angry.
There might be. It's just what we're shown in the movie, isn't it? There might be. For all we know, a whole day between that shot and the next.
Well, no, because they do kiss straight away. They do make. There is a whole day before making love, or maybe Corky's a stallion. We don't know.
Then we see the kiss, and then She opens her eyes, and it's Fats.
That would be good. What's left from Will's notes?
I've not got much. I say that I've not got anything.
I want to talk a bit about the Jerry Goldsmith score, that incredible, but also the love theme.
Very nice.
Again, it plays into that terrifying love story aspect. You know, it's got a really nice love theme.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I'd also just like to mention Richard Attenborough.
Oh yes, we
Of
forgot
course.
to say that he directed this.
Directed this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do you sit on in the grand? I think this is by far my favourite Richard Attenborough movie. But where do you sit in the grand scheme of Richard Attenborough?
Of him
films? Are you a big Gandhi
directing?
guy? Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
act. We'll do directing because we're here now with the directing. Do you like Gandhi?
I do like Gandhi, actually. We watched it in RE.
Yeah.
And we also watched Four Lions and East is East.
3 great films.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well,
did he direct Chaplin?
He did direct Chaplin.
Yeah.
He directed Chaplin, A Bridge Too Far. He directed the movie of A Chorus Line, which, by all accounts, is not great. But who doesn't love Michael Douglas? Yes, I think for me, this is... Have you ever seen Oh, What a Lovely War, Will?
No, but my sister studied it in GCSE drama when they looked at oxymoron, sort of. They were coming into Brecht, and they were like, "Oh, what a lovely war," and then killing people. Oh,
yeah,
juxtaposition.
Yeah, he's sort of then moved into Chaplin. Is a fine film. I think it's definitely got its peaks and its troughs. But it's good. Shadowlands is apparently fantastic, isn't it? I haven't seen Shadowlands. It's the C.S. Lewis. It's Hopkins as C.S. Lewis.
Very good.
I think it's either near the end of his life and his wife's played by Deborah Winger. So I will probably get around to it. It's got a few things that I enjoy. In Love and War, Alan Bennett's in it.
Hey.
I think it's a cameo. He's only called Porter. Then Grey Owl, a movie where Pierce Brosnan plays a Canadian fur trapper. And Closing the Ring, which sounds like a porno film.
Ooh, it does.
And it's starring Christopher Plummer and Shirley MacLaine. A young man searches for the proper owner of a ring that belonged to a US World War II bomber gunner who crashed in Belfast. I mean, it could be good. Postlethwaite's in it. Who knows?
Oh, lovely.
And when it comes to his acting, I mean, you can't beat Jurassic Park, can you?
Jurassic Park, I like...
Are you a Miracle on 34th Street guy?
No. I've never been... I like 10 Rillington Place. I like that.
Oh, incredible.
Excellent.
Jesus, terrifying.
Yeah. It was Christy done it.
Christy did it. That was one that my grandma always recommended. And on a sleepover, she bought the DVD from Amazon secretly and said, "We're going to watch 10 Rillington Place." And I was like, yay! I was probably the only child in the world. I say child, I was probably 10 or 12. The only 12-year-old in the world who has ever been excited to watch 10 Rillington Place.
It's good in Great Escape as well.
Great Escape, yeah. Brighton Rock is early stuff, yeah. All good stuff.
We like Richard Attenborough.
We do like Richard Attenborough. Alternate ending corner. There isn't one. But there are some fun facts.
Hey.
William Goldman, in his book, said of this movie, Burgess Meredith was perfect. Tony Hopkins was so wonderful here, but running stride for stride for them was Miss Olsen. I think Ann-Margaret is the least appreciated emotional actress anywhere. You agree? It's lovely. Here you go, Will. Gene Wilder was the original choice for Corky, and director Richard Attenborough and writer William Goldman wanted him, but producer Joseph E. Levine refused on the grounds he wanted no comedians in the movie to distract from the serious nature of the story. Gene Wilder later commented that he thought it was a big mistake and he regrets not taking the role and that he thinks the film would have worked better with a comedian.
I don't. I completely agree that I think Hopkins was the perfect choice of that.
Yeah. And also, I think
it's not a comedy; it's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy, yeah. And also, the scenes that we see of him performing is really good on the, and also part of it is that he's so unassuming. Like, David Ogden Stiers makes the joke of, "Oh, I can't believe that you're telling me this gets better. I can hardly believe with this sort of opening." The charisma, I don't know whether he reminds me of Errol Flynn or the other guy he mentions. Yeah. So I don't agree with Gene. I mean, I'd watch it. Of course I'd watch it.
Oh, yeah. Anything with Gene.
If I could have both films in front of me right now and I could, cross-reference them, I'd be greatly interested in it. But also, I don't think you can do better than what we've got. Attenborough agreed to direct this film and A Bridge Too Far in exchange for obtaining financing from E. Levine for his dream project, Gandhi.
Very good.
It is never explained in the movie what FATS is. Several theories have been made, the first and most accurate being that the dummy is a form of dissociative identity disorder. Other theories include schizophrenia, the dummy being possessed, or an imaginary friend. Imaginary friend doesn't make sense. Everybody sees him.
Yeah.
There is obviously, we could say, is it haunted? But I don't think so.
Or haunted by Merlin.
Could be. Burgess Meredith replaced Laurence Olivier due to an illness.
Oh, wow. Well, he's very good.
I can see it. At one point, Spielberg was courted to direct, and Spielberg seriously considered De Niro.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch it. I'd watch all these
I'd
movies.
Watch it.
Mike Nichols was briefly considered to direct. I can see that again. I mean, it's great. In the scene where Fats berates Corky for trying to leave him, there is a shot in which Fats's eyes move seemingly of their own accord. This has led some to believe that Corky is not suffering from schizophrenia and that the Fats is actually possessed. However, in the DVD featurette, Fats and Friends, Dennis Alwood, the ventriloquist and puppeteer for some of the Fat scenes, explains that it was simply a mistake. Richard Attenborough opted to leave the shot in the final cut because he liked the way it looked and doubted that many people would actually notice. And that's your fun facts. Now we draw to Tom's big question. We've just talked about what we think's happening with Fats.
Yeah.
We've talked about Gene Wilder. What's happening with Peggy at the end? What happens when she walks in and finds...
When she walks in to find them dead?
You started on it now. Up. Them dead.
Fats sits up. He's like, now we can be together, baby.
Ooh. I'd see that. See, now, I don't know whether that would make the movie or ruin it.
Yeah.
But...
it would add something.
A twist end. Well, not maybe, now we're together, maybe, but like that it was all a big plan and that he needed him to just kill himself so that he could get out of the way.
Or she sits down and then she starts using Fats, and then Fats becomes sort of her life.
Well, we get a glimpse of that.
The doll gets passed along.
We get a glimpse of that with, her the final line. You're only going to get this opportunity once. And she does the voice. And then she throws the carved heart up in the air. Could Peggy have saved him?
I think he was beyond saving. He was just a very poorly man.
Indeed. If he just did the medical exam in the first place, because schizophrenia is a very hard thing to diagnose. And also, I think by medical, they're just talking prostate and stuff.
Drug tests.
Yeah, stuff like that. And I think, and obviously there would be a brief screening. But I think if he just took the medical exam, he'd be fine.
He'd have a show in Vegas.
He'd have never mind a show in Vegas. The medical exam was for the pilot. He was going to be on TV. Yeah. Anyway, synopsis of a sequel. I mean, we talked about it. Maybe an ending that could ruin or make the film. Who knows? Clothesline. We just talked about the Clothesline Hall of Fame. Will any final thoughts on Magic?
It's very good. It's very nice. It's very nice indeed. My favourite Hopkins now. That's interesting. It's nice when that happens, when you get a new film and it becomes like Midnight in Paris was.
Yes.
This year, yes.
Indeed. Next, we've got another adaptation of his own work. It's The Princess Bride, and we've got a guest star. We've got returning guest Katrina Unit. We'll see you there. Nothing less to say.
Da ba da ba da ba da.